Hurt by a stronger dollar and a slowdown in China, the trade deficit in the US soared in August, expanding by the most in 5 months. I'm Monica Gibson, and Joost van Leenders joins me down the line to discuss this and more. Joost, analysts were expecting the deficit to expand, with some forecasting a startlingly terrible figure given low oil prices and soaring consumption. What did you make of the figure, and what might be the repercussions of such a gap in terms of growth?
Yeah, to start with market direction, indeed, we had a preliminary data which foreshadowed it, and we know that it is going to be a drag on growth in the third quarter. And generally, the trade data is not the type of data that the market is most reacting to. But still, what we see is quite a negative impact on growth, of course. Not as big as in the first quarter. In the first quarter, growth was about a 2 percentage point drag on growth, and this time it looks like a 0.5 to 1% drag. But if you compare again to the first quarter, in the first quarter we had an increase in inventories, and we'll probably also have a drawdown in inventories in the third quarter. So when you look at the development of growth, that's gonna look quite negative. We had a very strong second quarter, 3.9% annualized growth, and that might halve that growth rate. So there is the impact of trade and from inventories, and that will mask the positive domestic development that we still see.
We had news yesterday of the Trans-Pacific Partnership aimed to create a more level playing field for members. There are, however, already some concerns that the elimination of tariffs may lead Japan, for example, to manipulate its currency to lower the costs of Japanese auto imports. If passed, do you believe this could materially change trade relations in the future for the better?
Yeah, well, in general, that will be positive. The Trans-Pacific Partnership will, of course, be positive for trade relations and for trade among the members of the partnership. In terms of the sort of short-term impact, I think it's more important indeed what currencies are doing, the dollar, but also what relative demand is doing. When we look at the U.S. and the current drag that foreign trade is on the economy, is a reflection of stronger growth in the U.S. than in some of its trading partners, and that is why we see that imports are strong. We see that imports of goods are strong, and exports are weak basically across the board, and that's of course more the short-term impact. Currencies do play a role. In general, foreign demands has more an impact than the currency itself. But of course, if Japan steps up quantitative easing, tries to weaken the yen further, that could be a pressure on the U.S. So I think what is interesting is that the U.S. haven't really commented on quantitative easing by the Bank of Japan, while they've been more vocal in other countries and some other authorities trying to manipulate the currency. China, the most obvious one, although China is not a member of TPP. So probably if Japan does more, I think the U.S. won't comment on it, but it would be another drag on U.S. export, basically, yes.
Looking ahead to the upcoming release of the September FOMC minutes, some expect the market to interpret the minutes as reinforcing the Fed's prevailing bias for a 2015 start to the normalization in rates. But what do you think, Joost?
Yes, I think the communication of the Fed has been quite consistent. Okay, they said they wait in September. They want to see how foreign development and how the strong dollar will impact inflation to increase rates this year. That's what Yellen said at the press conference. What several officials have said in speeches thereafter. And the minutes, what we've heard from officials is that it was a close call to hike or not, and that will probably reflect it in the minutes. I think the hold was quite a hawkish hold in September, and that is probably also reflected in the minutes. But that's what we knew since several speeches from officials. So I don't think that the minutes should be a big surprise for the markets.
Joost, thank you. Well, viewers, the Trans-Pacific Partnership covers countries that make up to 40% of the global economy, but so far the Philippines have not signed up. Sinead McLaughlin discusses that country's economy in another exclusive interview today, so make sure you click back for that. Goodbye for now.